We are here at the Evolve New York site. I'm hoping this will go smoothly. I do have my phone as the filming device though, so I'm going to have to use the credit card readers again, so we'll see how that goes, but I can always turn it off if we need to use the phone to get things started. But let me turn you around so you can see where we are. Just a gas station in the back, nobody wants to see that. So this is a unique site, and we'll have a look why in a sec. It's not got the Evolve New York blue lighting because this is a collaboration with Electrify America, as the video title suggests. We've pulled in here a little bit lower than I would have liked. We had a lot of headwinds, although we have got better efficiency than the other day over in Wardstown. There's no rain today, but it has been really strange. You've had bursts of sunshine, then just kind of horrendous snow, and then back up to sunshine again. So it is what it is. We'll crack on with what's going on here. Let's see. Another interesting point of this site. It's not just CCS. We've got a Tesla supercharger over this side. So I haven't checked actually whether that's a version 2 or a version 3. I have to assume it's V2, although it does look quite new. But I would need to get plugged in here. Obviously we haven't had the flashing low sign yet. We've still got mileage on the screen, so at least that's something that we can work with. But no propulsion reduced, no flashing charge vehicle soon urgent warnings. So let's go and get plugged in, and we'll see how this goes. Keep an eye out here because there is this car wash next to us. I don't want to catch anyone coming out. So there's a few interesting things about this site. I'm going to make sure I pull up on the 2 CCS combo right here, because 2 of these do actually have Chanamo plugs as well, which again is unusual for an Electrify America site. But let's get plugged in here, and we can talk about this site and the journey over here and anything else that you want to. I won't be on the chat until I get back in the car, obviously, so feel free to leave your questions right there, but I'll catch up with those in a sec. Let's take a look. So immediately, first thing you'll see is these are Signet units, much longer cables right here than the Wardstown station the other day. Apologies if there's any noise, there's a lot of facilities around here. But this is the dual CCS. These cables are going to be much longer, so it's a lot easier to plug in, hopefully. Albeit I'm doing this with one hand, so bear with me here. Already way more flexibility there than the shorter cables in Wardstown. We'll talk about those in a sec. So you'll see there, not usual Electrify America pricing, whether Pass Plus or just the Pass. This is right in the middle because it is on the Evolve New York pricing at 35 cents a kilowatt hour. That ramps up to 38 cents once you get the tax added on for New York State. So we'll see if we can fire this up here. Is that our good old friend Nyax? Slide a card in. Oops. Let's see. Wants a swipe. No, it wants a chip. There we go. It says approved, payment authorized. Oops. Okay, so it should be pretty low here. I haven't checked the percentage, but we'll be, let's see, only a few kilowatt hours left in the pack, so it's going to be 4 or 5%, I would guess. Let's see what we can see in the car. Okay, well, the car is ahead of the machine here because we're right up to 50 kilowatts, but I can apparently get session updates. Let's do that so that I can have a receipt. Okay, so you just enter your number in, which I'll obviously put to the side for a sec. Okay, yeah, so started at 7% there. Not as close as I thought. We did have to get off a little bit earlier to slow down and conserve some energy for the last 10 miles. But not too bad. That headwind was just a killer today. And it's very cold as well, unseasonably cold. But we're starting up here. And let's jump back in the car. Okay, so that's the polar opposite of the other day, obviously. Anyone who tuned in for the live stream at the Evolve New York sites up in Watertown knows we had a few hiccups trying to get started up there. It was pretty tough, but we're obviously doing okay here. Let's see where we are. So this is Oneonta, New York. And Albany is right here, so we're about 60-70 miles southwest, heading on down to the southern tier, Binghamton. There's a couple of stations going in down there. Then you have your southern tier, which is not great well served at the moment, but there are some stations going in the near future, we hope. But we'll zoom in. And let me see. Now, yeah, the charging cost, that is an interesting one. So the journey over here so far, we have had 2 sessions on Electrify America. Anyone who has been paying attention to Electrify America's feeds today knows we have free charging for Earth Day. So that's a really nice little promotion that we've taken advantage of to the tune of at least 40 or 50 kilowatt hours on the way over here. As you can see, it's a couple of hundred, well, 250 miles now, almost on the dot. So we have had a bunch of that. You'll see this is going up to 35 cents now because we've been on and we've delivered 1 kilowatt hour. This is actually on Evolve New York's pricing, as I said, and they are not part of this promotion. So I was wondering if we would do the entire trip for free, but I'm more than willing, obviously, to pay for the upkeep of this network. It's not anything else that is around here. We don't have any other options, so it's really nice to have this new site. It's really brand new, obviously, you can see. I'm not sure how much light we're going to get here, actually. It's got very dark very quickly. But obviously that was really easy. This is a Marabito. You can see that down in the bottom corner of the... This gimbal is not good. You can see the Marabito's branding there. The New York Power Authority on the bottom of the station. Just along here. And then the Evolve New York familiar blue and yellow that we saw the other day. And yeah, it's looking good. It's a really nice location. It's right off I-88. We were coming south, obviously, but anyone heading up to Albany, this is a good halfway stretch between Binghamton and Albany. Obviously, it's popular because there are so many superchargers over there. And that's not something that Tesla usually does on a whim. They are pretty strategic about where they put their charging equipment. So yeah, we'll have a look in a sec at the connectors, because this isn't like a regular Electrify America site, obviously. But let me take a quick look at the comments here. Hi from California. Hi, Mike. thanks for joining. Yeah, plug and charge is easy when it's in free vend, but unfortunately that's not every day. Let's see. Tesla, 23 amp kilowatt hour. Electrify America is twice as much. Yeah, but that's you know, it's a very different proposition. Tesla is using it as a loss leader. They're not trying to make a profit. Electrify America, although they are a very kind of unique organization, with being a you know, penalty in some ways for Dieselgate, they still need to make a profit. Once that money runs out after 10 years, you know, there's they may still get investment from Volkswagen, but who knows? They will need to make money. So I don't begrudge paying Electrify America a little bit above, you know, the regular household cost of electricity, and we get plenty of free charging sessions on them, so I don't tend to mind. And you can see, you know, this is this Evolve New York pricing is designed 35 cents per kilowatt hour to be competitive, you know, not cheap, not super expensive, but kind of on a par with gasoline. I know that immediately frustrates folks when they hear that, you know, it's going to cost the same as gasoline. But if you think about an EV road trip, you have your, you know, first 200, 300 miles, depending on what car you're in, at domestic rates. So whatever your electricity costs at home, you're usually starting at 100%. And then, you know, there's options along the way. As you know, if I stopped in a few places, then there's a few free charging options around Albany. So you can kind of offset the slightly more expensive sessions with some of the cheaper locations. Let's see what else we've got in here. $35 hold on your credit card. I haven't seen that. I think that is an EV Connect thing. I didn't actually check after the session the other day, which I should have done, but this I will look at afterwards and confirm yes or no in the comments. Running the same software as EA. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's basically, you know, an Electrify America hardware and software site with Evolve New York as the kind of owner and pricing and host, but everything else is being run through Electrify America, obviously, even to the extent that the lighting here is green at Watertown, and on the Shroon Lake that we went to, those are blue lighting, so you'll see that be more branded towards Evolve New York's kind of colors. What else have we got? Love your channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Obviously, again, I'm just kind of flipping between the comments here and the session. I'm going to get out and have a look before it gets too snowy. You can see we've picked some doozy days to to travel this week. We were in the Adirondacks with the filthy rain, and it got snowy over in Lake Placid. And today, you know, this was quite nice and dry coming over, but man, we're getting some snow coming down now. Who knows where this is coming from, but yeah, it's not really mountainous here. It's just that way out with itself at the moment, the weather. Do you still own your other Bolt? We do not. We were on a 3-year lease for our 2017 Bolt, which I keep seeing Summit White Bolts, and I actually prefer that color a lot more than the kind of more dull gray that we've got now, but that's what it is. Let me see. Just double checking some of the comments, make sure I didn't miss anything. Happy Earth Day. Thanks, Liv. I hope your I hope your Lucifer is back up and running soon. That sucked to see new Ford Mustang Mach-E barely a month in have damage, so I hope you're up and running soon. What else have we got? My miles per kilowatt hour. Hey, Dennis. We are a little better today. Obviously, if you tuned in the other day, as I know you did, thanks, Dennis. We were at 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour, and that was depressing me. But we're at 3 miles per kilowatt hour today. It was nothing like this, to be honest. The whole way across, we've had dry roads, so really only the headwind was bringing us down. But yeah, this has taken a turn for the wintry here. I'm going to get out and have a quick look around just before we get really low visibility. I'm going to pull it off the gimbal as well because this is doing my head in. Let's see. Okay, forgive the noise a second here. Alrighty, let's jump out. Yeah, warmer temperatures. Well, it was 70 in Massachusetts the other day. So here we are. This is brutal. So the difference of this site, one of them is, you know, Electrify America will have just one of these, and it will be 50 kilowatts on the CHAdeMO. Apologies for the noise, that's the car wash in the background. But you'll see we've got 100 kilowatts on these CHAdeMO, so it's maxing out the capabilities of the Nissan Leaf, the newer model, and CCS at 150 kilowatts. Really nice stations, nice long cables. Here you've got the two that are both CCS only. You do have one station here that's got up to 350 kilowatts. So making the most for Porsche Taycan at the moment, and then some of the newer Audis and Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the Kia EV6, both of which look exceptional. We're on the 150 kilowatt. Someone mentioned the other day, you know, why the Bolts kind of jump on the 150 kilowatts when they could use, they can only take 55. Well, it's really the only option, you know, there's nothing lower than that at these sites, certainly this one and the Watertown site that we went to. And then we try not to jump on the 350 kilowatt if we can help it. But, you know, essentially there's really I don't tend to see a lot of Taycans hanging around, you know, it's just not that level of utilization at the moment to make it a problem. So we pretty much can plug into anything, although that's going to keep changing, you know, as more cars get on the road that can take these higher powers. Units, we're going to start to have to be thinking about, you know, Kona Electric, Nero EV, Bolt EV, Leaf drivers, planning so that they don't take up those faster stations. But again, this is the second CHAdeMO, another 100 kilowatts. So, you know, Evolve New York kind of serving CHAdeMO users, Leaf, older Soul EVs, that kind of thing. A little better than Electrify America, who, you know, really don't want to deal with CHAdeMO much more if they can help it. But you have, you know, two CHAdeMO plugs, so it's much more Leaf friendly, and 4 stations, always good. That's pretty much going to be the hallmark of not just Electrify America, but Evolve New York's sites as well. They're going to try and put in 4 stations per site. Usually when you see their numbers of sites that they're going to have for the year, which this year is 50, then they're looking at 4 times the number of chargers, so 200 chargers in the ground at 50 sites by the end of 2021. And it's whipping round now. Let's have a quick look around back. So you can't really see the, usually you'll see the cabinets and everything. They're actually over in the distance here. So got some offices here. These are the cabinets for the Evolve New York site. You've got this car wash here with all the vacuums. So that's not something you typically have at electric vehicle charging site unless it's in the gas station. Mirabito here, who is the host of the site. Just a, you know, pretty decent regular old gas station in there, restroom, so you're handy for everything. And then obviously you've got your branding. Everything I've noticed about all the Evolve New York sites I've been to, they've been, you know, very well branded. Obviously they're new, so the parking lot is mostly nicely painted and everything else, but it's all good looking stuff, no doubt. I'll have a quick wander over here. We'll see if we can gauge whether or not these are, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a version 2 supercharger, but maybe we can find out. If not, I'll look in PlugShare, or if someone has PlugShare up and wants to take a look down in the charger. You get your 8 stalls, cabinets in the background, and whatever this guy is doing, but I guess that's iced for the moment. And then your gas station stuff over there, and it's, you know, it's a pretty busy junction, so there's all kinds around here, lots of sit-down restaurants over in the distance there, some fast food, all that kind of stuff. So let me jump back in the car before my hands freeze off, and I'll I'll check the live feed on the chat again. It's good to be able to do the walk around right away instead of faffing with the stations. We're already up to 26%. You'll see us getting pretty close, at least on the station, to the Bolt's maximum of 55 kilowatts. 15 minutes in, 12 kilowatt hours delivered. I have one passenger today. Say hi, honey. Yeah, good girl. She's much better behaved than the kids. Sorry if they're watching. Let's see. Okay, so the car says 52, 53. So this will start to ramp up towards that 55 kilowatt max. It'll hang around that until 50, 55% and then start tapering away. Let me see some of the commentary here. Four stations each. Yeah, I mean, I think they've kind of, you know, decided that's what it needs to be. That's the minimum of future-proofing these places. It's kind of crazy to look at some of EVgo's, even the new sites, you know, barely struggle to get 2 or 3 stations in. It seems very odd for an established network when you get a new network like this that's, you know, just, even if it's not 100% future-proofing, you know, they have the fastest available stations, they have, you know, redundancy, they're in good locations. I guess somebody is unhappy. Let's see. What else? Now, try and answer some questions here. I won't stay on as long as the other day because I do have to grab some food, turn my lights off, and get checked into my hotel. I'm actually staying around here locally before meeting the family tomorrow. So let me see. Someone mentioned the other Bolt. Yeah, we covered that one. We got the 2020 in January of 2020, naturally enough. So we're about halfway through the lease here on this one. We'll see what we do towards the end of this lease. What do you think of the new Bolt EUV? I think it's a value play. I'm kind of disappointed that they couldn't, you know, make this improved. But I think it's hardware. From everything I've read from the engineers, the wiring in the charge port and other parts of the car just aren't modern enough, aren't capable of taking much more than this 55 kilowatts that it hits at its max. And it's basically the same car, you know, underneath the newer refreshed outside and the you know, better cabin. It's still all the same. You know, battery pack underneath 65 kilowatt hours. I think this is 66 kilowatt hours, so it's near as makes no difference. So, you know, it's a solid EV. It does just fine. And if you are not really taking lots of long trips and you just don't mind, you know, slightly slower road trips, which can be okay in some circumstances, you know, the Bolt EV is going to be great, and so will the new Bolt EV. But you might want to watch, you know, these are going to be pretty cheap. The 2017 Bolt EVs, you know, are going to start to come on the used market, or that, you know, again, once the recall gets figured out, and that should be any day now. They said in April, so we're getting pretty close. I'm just going to pump the heating here so we can have some defogging. And yeah, there's, you know, they keep on going down and down. People are getting buybacks on some of their Bolt EVs that were affected by the recall, which you can watch the video elsewhere on this channel to go into that. But essentially it was a handful of Bolt EVs had some fire risk associated with them, and they needed to stop sale in some places, and some places with stronger lemon laws are getting their you know, the option to buy back the car, and a lot of people are just getting into a 2020 Bolt EV as a result for a very good deal. But we'll do more videos on that in the future. It's there's all kinds of stuff to kind of cover. Let's see. Did you have any connection issues today? No, this was straight up. You know, we plugged in. I had to use the payment reader, payment card on the front there because I'm using the phone to live stream, and it was seamless. Really started right up. So that's good. No messing around. I could try these. I'm here for a while, as I said, so I might try some of the other stations just to make sure everything is working. But if you look in the Electrify America app, it says 4 of 4 available, and you can start it up just as you would an Electrify America session normally. And just a reminder for anyone that's near an Electrify America station, you can charge for free today through to about 3 a.m. Eastern time, I think. So yeah, go and get some free electrons if you're nearby. You see what else? Literally cold watching this. I know, honestly, it was sunny. About 20 minutes ago we had some sunshine, so I do not know. I guess it's the old saying, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. Let's see. Do you know if there are EV purchase incentives in New York? Yes, and I forget the details, but you can get up to $2,000 off an electric vehicle that qualifies. There are different levels for different ranges of electric car. But something like the Bolt qualifies for the full 2,000, and I think they were still advertising it the other day when I was at the DeWitt Service Plaza, where they had a few EV stations up. So yes, those are still active and in place if you are looking to buy an electric car in New York State. What else do we have? Is the cable water cooled? Yes, they are. These are slightly better cables, actually. The earlier ones on Signet stations, and a lot of them were thicker and harder to kind of move around. The ones on the ABB stations the other day, you might have noticed, were really difficult to kind of maneuver into place, which these ones are definitely not. You can see the loops around the bottom. There's a good probably 3 foot, 4 foot maybe on those, so they're pretty solid, I think. It's good enough for you. I'm going to keep checking the comments here, so forgive any radio silence if I try and read. Hey from Fairport, Dave, thanks for joining. I'm glad this one was a little better time for you. Dave is one of our friends of the channel over in near Rochester, New York, a village called Fairport, which we've reported from before. And there's another Evolve New York station there, 2 of the ABB stations. How are those going, Dave? Can you give us a little quick summary as to the reliability, uptime, whether you've had lots of visitors, that kind of thing? Can you use the EA app? Yes, thanks for joining, Liv. I appreciate you stopping by. Let's see. Yeah, the EA app will work for these. This is, for all intents and purposes, an Electrify America site that just is on all of New York pricing, obviously has the different branding, and but you can activate it in the app. I'm going to try that actually after this for a separate video, but you can just have it take off your mobile wallet in the Electrify America app as you would normally expect it to do on any Electrify America site. It'll just be the different pricing. In New York here, it is a per kilowatt hour state for Electrify America, so it's 31 cents per kilowatt hour if you're on the Pass Plus plan for $4 a month, or all the way up to the slightly pricey 43 cents per kilowatt hour if you are just on the regular Pass plan. And for anyone that hasn't kind of done the numbers on that, it's around 33 kilowatt hours of charging to break even on that $4 a month. So it's really not very much. Most people will get through 30, 40 kilowatt hours in one session if they're on a road trip. So we're definitely worth doing unless you really are only planning to do one small session in a month. Let's see what else we've got. We're up to almost 40% state of charge here. Fairport stations had a bumpy start, seem to be working well now. That's great to hear. It's good to have those there. I think a few more around Rochester would be nice, obviously, but we're starting to see, if you watch, there's a video going up tomorrow at noon on the Adirondack trip that we did, and one of those, the first stop that we went to was the thruway, New York thruway site in DeWitt, just east of Syracuse, and those are going in across the New York thruway, I-90, across upstate New York. So those are going to be really useful, kind of like the EVgo stations that are off the Mass Pike that are just really accessible. You don't want to stay there too long, but if you need a little bump up to get through the Berkshires, those have been really helpful to us. So yeah, I hope they all get online and keep working soon. Then the plan for the thruway in the long term, at the moment they're putting in these kind of mixture of hodgepodge of 50, 100 kilowatt stations, sometimes one, sometimes two. So it's not, you know, quite as forward thinking and modern as this. But the plan, once that thruway kind of service areas get renovated, is to put in stations and you know, numbers of stations and equipment more like this. So that's going to be really useful as more and more fast charging electric vehicles jump on the roads. Yeah, so I don't really have too much more to show you. Obviously the Watertown one took a bit longer, so we had a little bit more, let's say, entertainment, for want of a better word. But I'd much rather have them kind of fire up and be straight off to the races. I'm going to have one more skim through the comments. If anyone wants me to look at anything, let me know. I'll brave the freezing temperatures once more. Actually, it's not freezing yet. You see we've got 35 degrees, but it's going to probably come down to around freezing overnight. This is, go through the trip stats quickly. This is for everything from the previous trip across to Syracuse and then up around the Adirondacks. Again, that video is going live tomorrow at noon. So this is, you know, much more than the efficiency we see here. Today's journey across from Boston was just 250 miles so far. Then tomorrow we'll head up via Syracuse, connect with the family, and head back to Boston. So probably around 600 miles all in all. DeWitt Evolve New York is down. Bummer. Let's see. Thanks for joining, Jeremy. Appreciate your time. Streaming through the Bolt's free Wi-Fi. Yeah, I hope it's working out okay. This it's actually not free for us. I don't know if there's other deals out there. We pay $15 a month. We sometimes turn it off when we're not doing any road trips, but usually it's good to have that extra hotspot for the kids when we're driving. So that's $15, and I think it's through AT&T. What else have we got to look at here? Thanks a lot. Anyone who has to jump off because it's dinner time, completely understand. I'm just going to hang on for a minute or two more to see if there's any requests, anything anyone wants to check out. Is it sensible to purchase a used Bolt EV now or wait until the 2020? I personally would, unless you need the car, I would wait, because I'm pretty sure, you know, my opinion would be that the 2020 here is going to come down in price as well. You can already see some deals starting to get on the dealerships, and it's only going to keep coming down as they get towards releasing the 2022 models. You know, 2022 Bolt EV is going to be down to, I think it was around $32,000. The EUV only around $34,000 for the base trim, and you have to assume that you know, they're really going to put downward pressure on whatever's left in inventory of the 2020s and the 2021s. They're going to want to push them out. 2021 was only a limited production run because they knew they were, you know, introducing this new refreshed Bolt EV. But I would, if you can hang on, I would wait, see what the prices do, because, you know, unless there is a real lack of 2017s being sold, then you know, 2020s are gonna be enough of them, I think, to be some good deals out there. Depending on your market, again, sometimes it's you know, it's tougher to find in some places, but the Bolt's available everywhere, and you know, just keep an eye on the market. Maybe a 2020, 2021 will come into play. You get the slightly bigger battery pack. You get the you know, high def cameras, which aren't a massive deal, but you know, it's nicer to see the the fine detailed 2017s that we had were a little bit grainier. Nothing, you know, that's a game changer, but if you can get into a 2020 for a similar deal, I would go for it. 2020 LT, all the goodies, less than 23k. Yeah, good deal. And I think, you know, it depends on your area, as I say, but you know, these are going to keep on going down in price until they've cleared the lots, I think. So I would keep an eye on prices and try and aim for a 2020 or a 2021 if you can. What else? Alrighty, I'll do one more scoot around the site, and then maybe I'll unplug so you can see the finish of the session. But this is enough for me for now, I think. Let's see. Maybe take a quick look at the label. Always good to check the power dispenser. So Signet, new stations. This is the one that's capable of up to 350 kilowatts. You've got the 500 amps via 920 volts. Let's see if this 150 kilowatt is a little bit lower. No, these should be capable of the same output. They're just labeled as lower power than this guy. What else have we got? Frozen on already. Lots of sites planned, charge faster, go further. You can see how extensive this is going to get. You know, we're going to have options around Albany, which is already pretty well served. Oh, it's gone there. Yeah, and all across the southern tier is going to be pretty important, I think, because there's not a whole lot down there. One charge point station in Jamestown, a few going in around Binghamton, but it'd be nice to get that because that's a nice area of the world to go down and visit. We're up to almost $10 there. Again, just reiterate, all our previous charges were free, so we're doing pretty good. This is Fairport. Again, hi Dave. You've got a bunch along the... a bunch along the New York Thruway, and that's not including the ones that are on the rest areas. It's serving some nice places here along the way: Ithaca, Finger Lakes, Southern Tier, as I said, and then you've got your JFKs and the ones along Long Island. So all good stuff, really promising network. Let me unplug here so you can see we're at 50%. Let's see what it does as we turn off. Get my grace period of 10 minutes. Idle fees, I believe, are at least on Electrify America, 40 cents a minute, so you want to unplug as soon as possible. Already got some snow on the cable now. Okay, so 28 kilowatt hours, it's almost half the pack in just over 30 minutes. And what is it going to charge me? You can do the maths at home if you so wish, but here it is. $9.45, not bad at all. No session fees, up to 50% in a pretty smooth, really good start. And that's that. Okay, that's much better. Whew, that's cold. Okay, obviously I'm done here, so I'm going to sign out. Thank you to everybody for watching. Sorry, lighting. Yeah, yes, this is on a lighting pole up here with the banner, so this should be pretty good. I'll come back actually probably for the main video and film some of this, but yeah, it's a nice site. Good job, Evolve New York. This is a perfect start, just exactly what we wanted. So that should help some of the naysayers at least push back a little bit. And again, watch that video tomorrow at noon. It's going live Eastern. That's going to cover the Adirondack trip, and it really does show, you know, the the network in a good light after Watertown. We've got, you know, all the stations we need, all the places that we would want them, plus there's a bunch of new ones going in, as we saw. So let me flip back around here. So from me in Oneonta, and a sleeping puppy back there. Hey honey. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. I don't know when the next live stream will be because we don't have too many trips planned, but as always, thank you for watching. Appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Cheers.